Teacher, I see you seeing me. Tell me what you see in me.
Every time you call.
What's poppin', L gang? We are doing a coming out story. Rainbow unicorns.
So Leanna's gonna go first and say her coming out story, and then I am, and then we're gonna actually tell you guys like how like our family and friends are taking it today.
All right, y'all. So my coming out story. It's not long, you know. It's not exciting, but I came out. I wouldn't say necessarily say that I came out. I got caught. Yeah, I got caught. But it happened in the 9th grade. I knew I liked girls for a long time, but I was in denial about it because I was scared. Like, you know, I didn't want to tell my friends. I didn't want to tell my family. But some of my brothers and sisters, they knew. 9th grade year, I joined the basketball team, and it was a lot of gay people on the varsity team. And this one girl, she just kept telling me like, hey, my friend want to talk to you, my friend. I was scared, but I was like, okay. Like in my mind, I was like, okay, like, yeah, who is she? But I was scared. I was like, no, I'm not gay. I was real scared. I don't know why, but I was real scared. But yeah, she just kept telling me like, man, I know you gay, like you dress like a little boy, I see you be checking out girls. I'd be like, you lying, like what are you talking about? I'd be like, oh, he cute. Yeah, so it got to the point where I was like, give me her number or whatever. So she gave me the girl's number. Yeah, so we were texting and stuff, and one day we were having this Bible study at the dinner table at my house, at my mom's house. And I brought my phone to the table. And so it was my sister, it was my mom across from me, and it was my other sister. And, you know, we were just reading the Bible. I kept looking at my phone, like, you know, every time when she texted me, I would text back. And at this time, we were arguing. I don't remember why, but we were arguing. Every time when I look up, my mom would look at me, and I would just play it off like I was, like, you know, doing something with my nails or something. I just kept texting her while we were having Bible study. And then when we were closing out in prayer, I had my eyes closed, so I was looking down like this, texting, hurry up and texting, and I didn't know that my mom was looking at me. So after we were done, she was like, give me your phone. I said, okay. But before I gave her my phone, I hurried up and locked it. She took my phone in her room with my dad, and I went in my room, and before I went to my room, I went to the kitchen and got a couple of plastic bags, and I went back to my room and started putting all my clothes in there. And then my younger sister was like, you getting in trouble. I said, oh, I gotta go. Because I felt like I was gonna get kicked out anyway, so I might as well have some clothes prepared, like, you know. So I was packing, tied one bag. I hear Leanna, ignored it because I heard her calling me. I said, oh God, not only I got one bag, I need some underwear, some socks, you know. I had 2 bags. And then my sister's like, mommy calling you. So I went in there and I was like, yeah. And then she was like, unlock your phone now. And I was like, no. And then we kept going back and forth like, no, unlock it, no, unlock it. And then my dad told me to unlock it too, and I said no. And then so I went back in my room. And then an hour later, they called me back in there, and my Facebook was on their computer in their room. Type your password in. I'm like, no, that's worse than my phone, no. Because I already blocked all their accounts, like, you know. And I had this name that people called me at school, but they didn't know what they called me.
What was it?
Lane.
Oh.
Like, man, whatever. Because the reason why I didn't want to give them my Facebook password is because when they make me mad, I used to go in there, this mother, I wish this mother, I can't stand, like, you know. And then on top of that, I was married on Facebook to the person. At the time, they didn't have Messenger. They had the
wall?
No, it wasn't the wall. They had your messages all, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
It would be like your home, the search, and then your messages.
Okay, yeah, like DM.
Yeah, so I'm like, if they read my messages, I'm going. So I typed it in. I was like, man, whatever. So I typed that in. They said, okay, you can go. And I'm like, oh. So I asked my sister for her phone, and she did not want to give it to me because I wanted to just hurry up and log on and delete everything, deactivate it and everything. She wasn't with the plan. I continued to pack my bags. And then I'm sweating because I'm like, dang, like I'm either about to get my poop whooped or something. Like my heart was beating. I was like, my palms get really sweaty. So I was like, oh my gosh. Then they called me back in there. And then they was like, so this is how you feel about us. so this is who you dating? You dating a girl? And then they was like, unlock your phone now. My dad was like, unlock it now. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Like, they already seen it, so they might as well see the rest. So when I unlocked my phone, I gave it to them, and they told me I couldn't go nowhere. See them going through it, and my mom's eyes is like, you know, getting real big. And my dad doesn't have the phone. He's just looking at her, and he's shaking his head. He goes like this.
Oh
like,
God.
okay, like, your daughter doing good out here. She keeps going through it, and then she's like, so who are all these girls, and why they bra and panties in your pictures? And I'm like,
in your pictures?
Yeah, but
you saved the pictures?
I guess, yeah.
That's disgusting.
But yeah, so she was like, who are these girls sending you these pictures in they bra and panties?
Ew.
And I was like, oh, you know, that's my best friend. And then I was like, I like girls. And my dad started crying, like not crying, boo-hooing, but he started turning red in his nose. And he had like a tear, not two, but a tear, one tear. I'm serious, no, I'm so serious. And then he started to blow his nose, and he was like, really, Leanna? And I'm like, why is it a bad thing? Like like I said in the other videos, I have a smart mouth. And I'm like, why does it matter who I like? Like, I don't get it. And then so basically, my mom ended up, she said, you're not getting your phone back. When you go to basketball practice, you go to basketball practice and don't go anywhere else. Nobody is allowed to come over anymore except for my friends. My dad ended up going to my basketball practice sometimes to watch me. And it was like, okay, like, I still talk to the same girls that I either was dating or liked right in front of him, and he didn't say anything. All the summer, I didn't have a phone, and then when I went to 10th grade, still didn't have my phone at the beginning of school. Then when I left class, guys, I went to the bathroom and I found a phone in the stall, and you know, I'm not gonna return it because I don't have a phone. So whoever phone that was, sorry, you know, I don't know where it is now. And it had over 1,000 minutes. I was like, for sure. I just started texting everybody, getting on Facebook. I'm back, guys.
I hate you.
And I messed up. I changed my profile picture. And my mom came that day, that same day, my mom came in the room and said, so how did you change your Facebook profile pic? And I was like, what are you talking about? It's been that one. No, you had the Laker hat on. You had the Laker snapback hat on. Now you got the Bulls one. And I said, no, like, what are you talking about? It's been that one. And then she was like, okay. And then why did she have a picture of it in her phone? I said, well, I don't know, because I don't have any technology to get on Facebook. Girl, why did she go through every drawer? But she did not look under my mattress. And then after a while, I just stopped getting on there. 11th grade year, going into 12th grade. I finally got my phone back mid 10th grade year, but we're skipping to 12th grade. Graduated. The day after I graduated, I was already 18, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to my friend's house to spend the night or whatever it is. And she was like, before you go, you still like girls? And I was like, nope, I got a boyfriend. But she knew I was just kidding. And I was like, no, I still like girls. And then she was like, why? And I just walked out, like, you know, like, I don't have to answer no more questions. I'm 18,
grown.
like, I'm grown, got my own car. Y'all, why they took my car from me? Because I said that. So yeah, that was how my coming out story is. Like, I didn't necessarily can't come out, but they caught me. But yeah, how they're currently taking it now is 3 years ago, I wrote them a letter. And I actually mailed it to their house. And you know, I just explained to them like how I felt, like, and how this is not a phase. Because when I was trying to tell them verbally that I like girls, it went in 1 year and out the other. Like, oh yeah, okay, bye, Leanna, get on my face. Like, you know, stop telling me about this. But when they actually read it and saw it and kept it in their mind, and, you know, they actually, you know, started coming around more, and they don't accept it, but they don't say anything about it anymore. Caught story.
I got caught story. Mine is just like,
Yours
happened at the wrong, it's not a caught story, it just happened at the wrong time, and it just wasn't on my agenda. But okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys. So like how you guys saw and how we met, I feel like I've always liked girls like on the lowest key, and Leanna was just like the spark of it all. So I've been dating guys like all my life basically, and that's just something that my mom always knew. Like, she just always knew, like, me of like, oh, like, this is my boyfriend, this is that. So me saying that, like, I like girls was a big surprise to her, especially since it's happening so late. You know what I mean? It's like out of the blue. My ex-girlfriend, I met her and it just happened so quick. And next thing you know, she just wants me to tell my mom about her already. And I felt like I was not ready. It was just too fast for me. So one day she came over and she was supposed to leave before my mom got there, but she ended up staying anyway. And I felt like she really just wanted to tell my mom without me being comfortable of telling her. So she stayed over, literally went to sleep, and I'm like freaking out, like, okay, well, she needs to leave. And my family, like my aunt and stuff, is just like, yo, like, your mom is like 2 minutes away, like, are you crazy? She ends up staying. My mom walks in and I'm like this. She always goes into my room first, so she came in and she looked, she was like, okay. Like, literally her face is so strict. If looks could kill, she would shoot you right then and there. So she's looking at me like this, like eyes raised and eyebrows raised and everything. That's where I get it from. She's like this. Hi. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, so who is this? And she gonna say, what's up? If anybody were to ever come over, you have to be really respectful of my mom because she has a lot to say. Like, she always has a lot to say. And especially for this to be her first impression of me bringing a girl in the house that doesn't dress girly like me, dresses like a boy, she's gonna automatically be like, what's up? Like, what is this? Leah, come in here real quick. So I was like, okay. Came into her room and she was just like, so what's up? Like, what is this? Like, are you thirsty for friends? Like, are you that thirst to bring somebody that dresses like that over here? She didn't mean it like in a disrespectful way because having people that are gay around her is just, around us, isn't anything new. You feel me? Like, she wasn't being disrespectful, but when it comes to your child, she's just like, what's really going on? And at that point, I was getting real disrespectful. I was like, okay, well, if she don't like who's over here, like, you know what? F this. Oh, I'm gonna be with who I want. And that wasn't really the right response at that certain time because it was a special day for her. You feel me? And I felt like that was like so disrespectful. Like, it really just brings tears to my eyes right now because I don't want her to feel like that day is the day that Leah like changed my life. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm her only child, so it was like a lot. I'll go back into the room. I was like, okay, well, you kind of like need to go. Like, we'll talk later. Like, we'll just text. So we ended up going to dinner, and me and my mom, we are best friends. So when our family knows that we bicker and fight, it's literally like, what's going on with the sisters? So Tom and Jerry, right? So she's sitting across from me doing the what look.
And she be doing that look to me.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm big and bold. I have an attitude. I'm talking to my cousins like, you know what? I'm over this day, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, so we end up leaving the event or whatever. I took my car because it was a lot of people. So I took me and my cousins and I'm over here pissed off. Like, I'm driving fast. Like, this is some BS. Like, I'm not about to go home after this. I'm gonna drop y'all off and I'm dipping. So I didn't end up doing that because I was scared because I felt like she was gonna fire on me. But anyways, so I ended up staying home. I didn't talk to her like for like a cool minute. So I ended up going to sleep, waking up, going to school, same routine, you know? And it was a couple days that goes past and she's not talking to me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna come home tonight. So I ended up going over her house and I stayed over there and I called my dad, which I don't even know why I called him because whatever, I'm not close to my dad. But anyways, I called him and I was like, you know, like, I have a girlfriend, like, how do you feel about this, blah, blah, blah. He said, it's fine, you know, just as long as you don't cut your hair, like, joking like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. As long as he's cool with it, you know, like, I'm straight. But realistically, it all matters about my mom because I'm living under her roof. So, time goes on and still not talking to me, not anything. So she texted me one night and was just like, I'm praying for you. Can you just come home? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go home. So I end up going home and she didn't talk to me. So I was like, okay, well, let me reach out to her since she's very stubborn. She's a Taurus, so she'll literally hold a grudge for like forever. So I was like, okay, let me be the bigger person. I talked to her and I was like, okay, well, I feel like we should have a sit down conversation tonight. So she ended up coming home and I was already home just chilling. She pulls a chair in my room, looking at me, didn't say anything to me for about 10 minutes and I'm looking at her. I break down crying. It was done with the tough raw act. If you're a Sagittarius, you already know, like, we can play tough all we want to, but in real life, like, we're sensitive. So I'm crying. She's literally looking at me. So we had our words exchanged. She's basically just saying like all this stuff. And I'm explaining to her like, it shouldn't have went down how it went. I have a type of relationship to where I tell her everything. This is what I want to do, mom. Like, hear me out, this and that. It was basically like a slap in her face, like, I'm gay, you know? And I just felt like it wasn't cool. So we talked about it, all of that. And we just came to the conclusion, like, this is what it is. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna bring anybody into your house. My business, I'm gonna just keep it on the low. Like, I'm just not gonna talk about this in front of you or any of that. Me and that girl ended up breaking up. Then me and Leanna met and I felt like it was gonna be the same thing. Like, you know, she was gonna pressure me into like telling my mom like about her, but she was very understanding about it all. You don't have to tell your mom about me. Like, I understand what happened before. Like, I want you to take your time and I want you to be ready to bring me around your mom, you know? While we were together as well, I was just crying to her, like, I just want her to be okay with everything. Like, remember, I was like, I just want her to be okay with anything, and you were like, babe, just give it a year. And I'm like, a year? Like, what? I want her to know about you now, like, you're great.
She would always say that.
I was like, a year? So that was literally it. Like, we did like bicker back and forth about it. Like, she just wasn't cool or anything, but it was just more on emotional roller coaster. Like, you're my only child, like, you know? And I felt like it was gonna be the end of the world with me and mom's relationship, how close we are. But honestly, like, today, she is great. Like, she's cool about it. You have to understand, like, if you see it in your parents' perspective, they might not be cool with it. Like, if you saw it in our subject Sundays, like, we explained it. But what I'm saying is I gave her time to heal about it. Didn't disrespect her like, oh, you need to meet this person now, blah, blah, blah. I just let her deal with it. And when she was cool with it, she met Leanna. You know what I mean?
Wait,
like,
a year later?
Yeah, a year later. It was legit a year later. And it was like, Leanna, she's coming over. Like, I want you to meet her, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay. Like, it's so cool. Like, we're progressing every day for it to be like perfect, but you have to understand, like, it's time that has to deal with baby steps, yeah. So that is my coming out story. It's like,
and
don't rush
coming out story. That's a caught up story.
It is a caught up story. But that's how we came out. Like, parents are a big part in your lives, you know what I mean? Like, I just want them to know, like, you guys play a big role. We love you and thank you for accepting us, you know? Like, and if parents aren't accepting you right now, just please, yeah, give them time. If you guys like that video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. We're so annoying with these hand gestures.
It's the Disney remake.
Subscribe. Oh, that was cute. See you guys in the next video. L gang, we out.